morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about what women had role in French Revolution. In France, men were mostly active for the revolution, but women also had their part. Women were different in France rather than in other countries in Europe. They formed political clubs and they took part in protests. In October 1789, women marched to Versailles to demand bread. These were active movements by women for the revolution in France. Women were active participants in the French Revolution. They also formed famous clubs which discussed the freedom of women in France, like the Society of Revolutionary and Republican. They demanded the right to vote and equal political rights. Now, if you look at other countries in Europe, women were not mostly active in such movements, but in France, the things were totally different. However, women did not get voting rights during this period. Most women clubs were closed by 1793. Now we are going to talk about the abolition of slavery in France. Slavery was mostly popular in France in Caribbean islands. This was abolished after the revolution. Slavery existed in French colonies like the Caribbean islands, and the slogan which was mostly popular in France, which was liberty, equality and fraternity, these inspired anti-slavery movements. In 1794, the French revolutionary government abolished slavery. However, after Napoleon's entry, he restored slavery again in 1802. Finally, slavery was permanently abolished in 1848. The revolution and everyday life. What happened after the revolution and how were certain movements taken and how was France going to restore the movements that occurred in France. Censorship ended, people could freely write, print and read, newspapers and clubs increased, more public political discussion, and because as censorship ended. Another thing was that clothing changed, simple clothes, red cap of liberty and other symbols people wore that, and there was a new republican calendar created, and there were months renamed, like year 1 is 1792. Next, noble titles were abolished, the nobility was abolished, and certain titles like Monsieur and Madame were used. Next, education was improved, schools promoted citizenship and equality. Now we are going to talk about the entry of Napoleon Bonaparte. He came again after the revolution and he introduced monarchy in France. In 1804, he crowned himself as the Emperor of France. He conquered neighboring countries and he was mostly famous as for his invasion and his army. He established equality before law and secured right to property. He simplified administrative divisions and improved infrastructure in France. Finally, he was defeated at Waterloo in 1850. Thank you.